Welcome, everyone, to Age of Radio. Mercury, I'm excited to be here. I have my beautiful co-host, Trey, and I have my beautiful co-host, the Jinx Cosplay, and I'm coming live from the 3T Warrior Academy in Mesa, Arizona, because we just did our wealth transfer podcast with most of the team. It was an hour and a half long when I'm just covering Jinx's face. Let's cover everybody's face with this one. There's everybody. It was an amazing show. We had Jackie, we had May, we had Gonzo. Who else was on there? CJV, myself. Dustin was here. Damond was here, the new tech guy. We got Dustin and Damond. Double D's in the house. That was a continuous joke.
Whoa.
Baby. All right. Thank you so much for joining in. We have a great show for you today. We're going to talk about the passing of Chuck Norris. Unfortunately, to get started, then we're also going to talk about some changes to Substack that I think is actually really, really cool and has me excited for Substack. I want to talk to Trey about that. And then Spotify tests new features, letting users shape the podcast music recommendations. And then we have a slew of other articles that we're going to go over. But before we do that, Trey, how are you doing, sir? Did you enjoy watching some of the content that we did last week at Game On Expo?
I did. It was a lot of fun. Some of the stuff I saw was like some of the interviews and stuff like that. For some reason, whenever I try and remember this stuff, I draw a huge blank. Ravencraft Cosplay's flipping outfit was sick. I remember that much.
Yeah, his Scarecrow outfit was really good. Danielle, who does the foam talk with us, her outfit was really, really good as well. She did magic from the X-Men, from Marvel Rivals. And then she also did, and her husband, the Husky hubby, he was Blade. Did you have a chance to see that one, Trey?
I did not see that one. Nope.
Yeah, it was really cool. They did a Arizona cosplay. They did a whole Marvel Rivals like theme for one of their days, which I thought was really interesting. Trey, how's your week been? I know you launched your, I was going to say Substack. You launched your new app, Scriptate, this week. How has that been going? I have the beta. You're doing the beta, I'm assuming. Do other people have the beta?
Yep. There are, aside from you and me, there are 27 other beta testers. I have not gotten any feedback yet, except for one, which I have actually taken and updated in the newest update. So if you guys are interested in checking out Scriptate, it's now on build number 4. Still working on getting the Mac version out. Need to fix that one. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff on that. And I've gotten started. I'm getting close to open sourcing a second app that will read documentation for developers when there's code in a way that you can actually understand it and not syntax soup.
Yeah, the syntax soup is the fun soup. It's all like tomato soup. I don't know, Trey, what's your favorite soup?
Cream of chicken is one of my faves.
Cream of chicken. I like clam chowder. Whenever me and my mom travel, we try to hit up clam chowder wherever we go. Jinx, favorite soup, since we're on soup talk now.
I really love pasta fagioli from Olive Garden.
That is really good too. Well, that's cool. So Trey, when Scriptate's out, I downloaded it on our call on Thursday, and then like 2 seconds later, you created an update and then launched the update. So I was really excited about that. But if anybody doesn't know what it is, it's an app that allows you to update a transcript to it or some kind of documentation that then you can create like prompts so that you can have an earpiece in your ear and listen to whatever the text is from the document. So if you're hard of seeing, you can listen to the script or the thing that you're wanting to talk about, and you can talk about it while you're listening to it. Is essentially the gist of it, correct, Trey?
Yep, it's essentially an audio teleprompter. So, yep.
Yeah, and Joey's in the house. Hopefully you guys saw Joey at our streaming event over the weekend at Game On Expo last weekend. And I'm really excited because this next weekend, Dustin, one D of the double Ds, him and I are going to travel to WonderCon and meet Jinx there and Thermo. And WonderCon is at the Anaheim Convention Center. It's going to be this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be there Saturday and Sunday doing some run and guns. And Bree's actually been reaching out to people. And she already has me interviews for people so that we can go do interviews at the booth. So I'm really excited about that. But that's awesome, Trey. I hope Script 8 does really well. We can talk about it a little bit later as well, because again, we have this show so we can continuously try to sell all the things that we make. So Jinx, is there anything that you're making that you want to sell right now?
Yeah, actually. So it's kind of like unrelated to anything geek, but if you guys didn't know, I'm Filipino, so I'm Filipino American, and I'm usually very involved in like the local communities, and because I sew, I would make all of my own like Filipina outfits, and people are constantly asking me where I get them, so I'm actually starting a custom gown business doing Filipina dresses. Whee!
That is so freaking cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it's on very small scale right now, but I did get my my clothing tabs that say, it's called Olin Studio, and Olin is a nickname that my dad gave my mom, and they both passed away, so it's kind of a throwback to my mom as well, because she taught me how to sew. So it's called Olin Studio. I already have an Instagram called Olin_studio. And I'm gonna go to a Filipino festival at the end of April with my sister, and that's where I'm gonna start launching them.
That is really cool. That's so
yeah.
exciting. So
I know. I kind of never really told you guys because it kind of just like snuck up.
That's really cool. So you can come on here and advertise all of the time, because that's the point of what we're doing. So I love that. And then
I don't know if it's our audience, but yeah. Oh, I have some friends at WonderCon if you need peeps to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely, Joey. Let Bree know who's going to be there, because we're looking for about 4 interviews, and then we're going to do some multiple walkthroughs. And again, the whole idea is that we can test a suit that makes Dustin look really stupid, and so that he can walk around with tons of people looking at him in this suit, that allows us to like do a full broadcast running and gunning, so we can do a lot of more conferences outside of the state and not have the cost of having the booth and everything, and then reserve those for like really, really big events that we want to have like the whole crew for. But then maybe some of this, like me and Jinx, we could travel and do a run and gun, or Chuck and I, or me and Trey can do a run and gun in Montana or something. But yeah, Joey, let us know. And then anybody who's out there that's listening to this live, let us know if you guys are going to be at WonderCon, if you were at Game On Expo. Just let us know what your thoughts were, if there's anything that you want to see. One of the things that I really enjoyed the most besides the interviews was the vending machines that I bought. So hopefully the goal is to have other things for people to do at the events. So I'm looking at buying a big arcade game right now. We're also looking at getting a really creepy white van for Dustin to drive in. I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
Do they sell any other color than white?
They do not.
You know what's funny is my dad used to have, because like we were a family of 6, so he used to have that giant like 16 passenger Dodge Ram, and so he'd like cart us around with our friends. We'd do road trips. We took out the last 2 seats in the back, and that was kind of like our sleeping area. So I think AOR needs to have like this kind of like mini RV thing, so when we go traveling.
That would be really, really cool. All right, guys, let's start off with some bad news. Unfortunately, Dustin, if you could throw this up on the screen. Unfortunately, Chuck Norris has died at 86. I can't read that. Dustin, how does it say that he passed away? I don't have this article. All the other articles I'll have up to read. How does it say that he passed away?
It just says a medical emergency in Hawaii.
Okay, so Chuck Norris was at a medical emergency in Hawaii. So one of my favorite movies growing up, I don't know if anybody's gonna remember this, was a movie called, I think it was called Sidekicks, and I think it was Chuck Norris and what was the kid's name? He ended up, I think, unfortunately, committing suicide, if I'm not mistaken. The kid that played the main character in it, but that was one of my favorite Chuck Norris movies.
What was the movie?
It's called Sidekicks.
Oh, I think it's Jonathan Brandis.
Jonathan Brandis. Yeah.
Yeah. He was my teen heartthrob.
He was my teen heartthrob as well.
Yeah.
He was in Ladybug. He was in all kinds of stuff. But
yeah,
Chuck Norris was in this, and I think the movie might have even been directed by Chuck Norris. Yeah, the movie was directed by Aaron Norris, who's Chuck Norris's younger brother. But Sidekicks was one of my favorite movies growing up. Love Chuck Norris. And over the years, I want to give I want to do like a commemoration, because there's those Chuck. Oh, look, I have it up on the screen. Chuck Norris, the legendary martial artist and Walker, Texas Ranger star, died at 86 after a medical emergency in Hawaii. The world champion black belt was known for his role in action films, including The Way of the Dragon with Bruce Lee, which was amazing. Days before his death, Norris posted an 86th birthday video sparring with a trainer, writing in the caption, "I don't age, I level up," in Chuck Norris fashion. But I'm going to miss Chuck Norris, but I don't think the memes of Chuck Norris will die. In fact, there's a meme here that I found on Instagram that Chuck Norris didn't die. It says he took death's job. That's a really good one. Anybody that's in the comments, let me know what your favorite Chuck Norris jokes are. And Joey's not a fan of Chuck Norris. Joey, why are you not a fan of Chuck Norris? Like, there's no not even in Sidekicks or The Way of the Dragon, the only two movies that I can remember. Wasn't he?
I'm kind of like impartial to Chuck Norris. I don't have anything that I'm like huge fan of either.
I like the jokes. Chuck Norris once counted to infinity twice.
I mean, those are inevitable, right? The memes, like, yeah, I get the memes. The memes are cool, but other than that.
Oh, and he was a Walker, Texas Ranger, obviously. Chuck Norris, tears cure cancer. Too bad he has never cried. That's a really good one. Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door.
So weird.
And Joey, if you're still there, I want to know why you're not a fan of Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris once made a Happy Meal cry. That's a good one. Chuck Norris can kill 2 stones with 1 bird. That's a really good one. But again, unfortunately, part of life is death, and our prayers and our hearts go out to the Chuck Norris family and all of those people surrounding him, and I hope that he died peacefully. And then apparently Joey says that he doesn't like Chuck Norris for reasons I don't think are appropriate in a fun setting. Oh my gosh.
I get it.
I'm sure. I mean, I get what Joey's saying. I don't know what he's referring, but maybe if you do, you can enlighten me later on in the conversation. But with some breaking news, Substack adds built-in studio testimonials. Substack has become a podcast hosting option for some writers who have opted to not only publish written content through the platform, but also their shows. The effort of producing video episodes will become more seamless with the launch of a built-in studio that company says will make it easier than ever to pre-record and publish a show on Substack. The new Substack recording studio feature allows users to record a solo video or a conversation with up to 2 guests, and when it is published, the recording will feature audio-generated clips and thumbnails. Previously, creating a video on Substack meant going live or stitching together a separate stack of tools to record and distribute the clip. The company says it's worth giving them a try, which makes sense because it's their product. Recent data shows that creators who have used audio or video on Substack in the last 90 days have grown their revenue 50% faster than those who haven't. Substack Studio makes getting started a lot easier. So Trey, I want to start with you because you use Substack on a regular basis. Tell me, what are some of the things that you like about Substack, and do you think that this is going to be an awesome feature?
This is going to be an awesome feature, and I am actually going to have to start doing that, although I'm not entirely sure because all of my podcasts are going to be on Age of Radio, which is why you should come and check out Age of Radio.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like I think the whole goal of Age of Radio is to help content creators get their stuff out there in general, and to work on services and or products that help do that. That part I don't mind. But Trey, do you know, when you record something on there now, does it create an RSS feed, or are you going to have to, like, does it create an RSS feed for you to go and then put into audio distribution to push out other places? Or does it, or are you going to have to download a video and or audio and then do that separately?
So, and I am not entirely sure on this one. I think that all of the posts and stuff are on an RSS feed, but I need to double check that one. So I think you can distribute it other places, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, Joey says, I love this. I'm going to use Substack recording for creator one-on-ones and mini master classes. And if you're watching this, give me a thumbs up if you think this is going to be cool. And I think it would be really cool for one-on-ones. Jinx, do you currently use Substack for your own content, or do you subscribe to people's Substacks?
I subscribe to Trey's Substack. Woo!
Woo,
I
go Trey
actually,
Substack.
yeah, I actually did sign up for it because I try and like to sign up for like social media like accounts when they pop up just so I have it just in case I want to use it. I have considered starting a Substack. I think this is great because I'm all for like, you know, accessibility. Like let's make it easier for content creators to create. So good for Substack, good for Substack users.
Yeah, and Joey, you well, actually, I'll talk to both you, you and Trey and Jinx too, but also for Joey because I know he's used the other one in the past. But how does Substack compare to like? Isn't there like a blogging site called Medium or something like that as well?
Medium
There
actually has
is.
been yeah, Medium's more of kind of like an independent like article publishing site, less
Got
like
it.
a blogging site. I mean, people have you can use it like one. I've published on Medium, but I think it's more accessible for people who maybe want to get started or do their own thing. I think that Substack reaches maybe more audiences because of its kind of mailing list feature.
Yeah.
Trey, take it over.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. It does have, but also the nice thing, I don't know about Medium, I've never tried it, but the nice thing about Substack is your generation, your people who read you read your stuff, your people who like subscribe or pay to subscribe. Those emails are yours. You can take those emails and you can take them somewhere else and pick it up like nothing ever happened on Substack, which is one of the best features. It's very creator focused.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that to either one of you who wants to answer this, do either of you think that Substack like it's and you may not know, and Trey, you might know the answer because you use Substack, and Joey probably knows the answer as well. But like, if Substack shuts down, would you lose access to all of your subscriber base in Substack? Or are you able to export the emails of the people that are signing up for your Substack? Do you know?
So you are able to export those emails.
So if like Substack ended up going away or something, you could essentially save all of that and then move it over to another blogging style platform or in another capacity where you could still reach those people.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. No, I think that's
It's
great.
awesome.
Joey says, I love Substack. It can go out to all of my email subs. If you guys use Substack out there, let us know what you think in the comments. All right, now moving over to my mortal enemy, Spotify, our arch nemesis. Spotify tests new features letting users shape podcasts and music recommendations. Spotify has begun testing a new personalization feature that it says is designed to capture new dimensions of users' tastes, including current interests and habits, called Taste Profile. It gives subscribers the ability to impact what podcasts, music, and audiobooks they're seeing on the app's homepage. Spotify says that input helps determine what gets prioritized, what gets dialed back, and what content they may see next. And this is a quote: if something doesn't feel quite right, you can tell us by flagging when your profile misses the mark, asking for more or less of a certain vibe, or simply sharing what you are in the mood for, the company explains in a blog post announcing the feature. The app has already relied on personalization, but Spotify says Taste Profile goes beyond just what podcasts or songs they have played. It keeps track of things so it knows that a user may want to listen to a new podcast during their weekday commute, or they want more upbeat music for morning workouts. And I'm going to start by saying that this is more where social media and platforms are going to go, where we have more control over our algorithms. What are your thoughts, Jinx? And then we'll go to Trey.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like it's Spotify's thing, right? I never really used Spotify either, but it was very big on like trying to track what your tastes are. I know you hate Spotify, but and I don't use it either. But again, like for Spotify users, this is another step for them to find more content.
Yeah, and I'm checking something because Trey, I don't know, do you know, and there is a thing where you can do something on Threads, or they were trying to beta it, where you could at Threads and tell it something, and then it would try to move that stuff into your algorithm. Trey, do you know what I'm talking about?
You're thinking of Hello Algo.
Yes.
Or Dear Algo. Dear Algo is what you're
Dear
thinking
Algo.
of. You
Yeah,
put
so-
that at the beginning of your.
Yeah, and so this kind of reminds me a little bit about that, is that this is going to curate profile taste for you inside of your feed so that then you're actually getting content that you want to see rather than content that the algorithm's trying to get into your feed based off of its understanding of you.
Right.
Is that what yeah. So Trey, do you think I'm gonna do this a prediction? Where's the prediction wall? Dustin, did you have time to make a prediction wall?
Prediction wall?
Yeah, I got prediction
wall.
time and
Ooh.
Trey, Dustin deleted the other prediction time. So I need to
Right,
get
I know.
All right, so this is my prediction. My prediction is that in the future, this thing's going to happen. We are going to see more and more companies focus on us getting to choose our own algorithms, or at least trying to influence them in some capacity.
I think you're dead on. I think I believe there's a beta of this on Instagram as well. There was a app that was going to do this that kind of failed because the people weren't handling the beta keys very well. Like this is just a trend that I think is going to just keep accelerating as we move on.
And Joey says here, I hate that they don't pay out creators as much anymore. Yeah, Spotify's garbage on paying anybody out. Not just because I utilize them and get paid out on them, but just in general, it's ridiculous. But I love the direction that they're going with pulling up the music that I love. And Joey, you're a traitor. You never love Spotify. They're our arch nemesis for life, even though I use like their main product, their main podcasting product, Megaphone. All right. All right, let's see what else we got in the news today, because I was doing this podcast earlier. Look at all these beautiful people down. It still covers off Jinx's face.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those
That's
are all
really
the
cool.
people. They weren't
Why
all
don't we
on
have
it.
one like that for Age of Radio?
Oh, I'm working on it. Here's the problem. I can either have Josh where I pay or Dustin that I pay, but when they're both working on something, I don't have anybody to make me stuff. And Joey was
That's
supposed
true.
to get me some overlay. Joe, you have those overlays? Jump in here and throw. Look, there's CJV and May, the Wealth Transfer Podcast. Well, but no, I'm working on it for the new shows. But before we go into podcast news, Dustin, can you pull up the ageofradio.com website? Mercury is brought to you by Age of Radio. Age of Radio is a podcast network for everyone. We have some new shows that have come on the network. We have the MMS Inspirational podcast right there. I don't know, Dustin, are you showing it? We have MMS Inspirational. It's music for believers, positive-minded people, and those seeking encouragement and optimism. And again, on Age of Radio, we're open to free speech. I don't care if it's religious. I don't care if it's, you sharing your opinion on politics. None of that matters to me. We want to make an inclusive place for everybody to share their, their opinions, as long as they're not practicing any type of hate speech. But we have MMS Inspirational. We also have Shoot It Over. We have the Come Up Method podcast. Real growth starts with real truth. The Come Up Method podcast is a grounded, no fluff approach to personal growth, mindset shifts, and momentum building. And then we also have the Stress Test, a stress test radio show, stress-free zone that helps listeners reduce stress at work, home, and wherever they may be right now. So make sure that you head on over to ageofradio.com and check out all of the amazing podcasts that we have. If you're interested in joining the podcast network, we are for everyone in the entire world. If you want to join our podcast network, please reach out to us at support@ageofradio.com. And we have about 5 more shows coming on the network this month as well. Trey, when's your podcast coming back?
I'm still pushing it back, man, honestly. I got to get the gumption up to start finding more creators, and I just haven't been. And also, the other stuff is kind of taken away from it.
Yeah, because you're making 90,000 apps.
That is true.
All right.
That is true.
Moving into some other news, and we'll come back talking about the Age of Radio community in a little bit. It looks like more video is coming at Podcast Movement. Wait, hold on. What is going on here? New partners announced for Apple Podcast Video. Where is this main article at? Let's see here. More videos coming at Podcast Movement Evolutions at South by Southwest. Stacey Goers and Jake Shapiro from Apple Podcasts announced a number of new podcast hosting partners for the upcoming Apple Podcast HLS video feature. Transistor, Audio Means, Podbean, Captivate, RSS.com, and Podigy are all soon to support HLS video on Apple Podcasts. And HLS video, I'm trying to find out what, I can't remember what that stands for. It's for their, Trey, if I'm not mistaken, that's based off of that's what they're focusing on as their push into video, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's like their.
Yep.
So I think it's like their RSS feed based video.
Yeah. So unlike Spotify or YouTube, your podcast host will continue to host the video files, which is where I think that me and Trey made a prediction that this is where more and more of video is going to be going, is eventually we will have video that fully gets distributed by our RSS feed. So right now, it looks like that who they're working with for this is specifically Art 19 and a Cast, Omni Studio, and Simplecast. So it looks like they're adding more of these to this video feature. And again, the biggest question though, Trey, is would you think that it will eventually come where you can be on a third-party provider like Art 19 and push out video and it to go to Spotify?
I think Spotify was already making moves in that direction, unless I'm much mistaken.
Well, no, because what you have to do right now for Spotify is you have to like the video that we just did for the New Wealth Transfer podcast. You have to use Spotify for podcasters, or what's also Megaphone. And then you can go in there, you can launch the video, but it only goes to Spotify. And in this case, what I would like to see is you could be on Art 19, or you could be on Megaphone. You could push a video out and it will go to both Apple Podcasts and to Spotify. That's what we need to see happen. And that's what I think is eventually going to happen.
So, and this is kind of a hot take. Apple Podcasts is the head of the space. They adopt features and innovate better and faster when it comes to podcasts than anyone else in the space, including Spotify. And we've already talked about how, like, if you're going to include music and podcasting and audiobooks, all of three of those are going to be less of a good product. Apple Podcasts, I think they're kind of not devoted. What's the right word? Yeah, they're devoted to maintaining open standards, and they're trying to be like a pacemaker or pace setter for the podcasting industry.
Yeah, I agree. Jinx, do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I do, actually. I don't really branch out too far from self-help podcasts and true crime podcasts, which I know is weird, but I have started listening to some of the ones on Age of Radio. There's a couple of interesting ones there that I want to kind of get more into, but on average, it's mostly like, it depends. If I've listened to too much true crime and I think I'm like in a dark place, I move to self-help. So that's kind of my role. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things there's been a lot of people that I've met over time, especially when we had we used to have some really big true crime podcasts on the network. There was Color Me Dead, which was a really big true crime. In fact, to be honest with you, without Color Me Dead, no one probably would have ever joined Age of Radio to begin with, or would have been a lot harder.
Yeah, I listened to that one and it's closed, right? I think they ended.
Yeah, they ended it a while ago. And then there was Murder Under the Midnight Sun, which was a really good one about the people disappearing in Alaska. And then there was one called Mysterious Circumstances, which that podcast is still out, but he pushes the new episodes out on other places. And so one of the things that I think is always funny about people that watch true crime is all those people that love true crime, they watch it when they go to sleep. And I just feel like that's like horrible stuff to be listening to while you're sleeping.
You know,
I don't know.
I think it really depends.
Like your subconscious would get like this horrible stuff. I don't know. It's my.
I do have to say that when I play a lot of like horror games, that definitely goes into
Joey
my.
said, should I start doing podcasts again? Probably not. Who knows? my personal opinion, and I think I might be in the minority on here. I think everybody should have a podcast if they want to share their ideas. I know that there's like this thing on social media where like not everybody should have a podcast or stupid thing, but that's like the point of free speech and being able to talk. I mean, you can find an audience anywhere, whether it's 4 people or 200 people or 3 people. If you want to share your ideas and have free speech, I think podcasts give us the ability for everybody to have a really good voice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And it's so easy to do now,
Last
right?
night,
Like,
Trey, I was walking through the mall, and there's a reason why I'm mentioning this. And guess what I almost bought?
They had it in display, did they?
Oh, Trey, I can't hear you, bro.
Can you not?
oh, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Jinx, I can't hear anybody, Dustin.
Oh, I thought so. I thought that was weird. I can hear.
I know.
Trey.
It was Dustin. Dustin.
Nope.
It was 100% Dustin. But you know what I almost bought? I almost bought this right here. I want to show it. Wait, Trey, what did you say that you think I bought?
I was going to say, did they have it on display?
They had it on display, and it is so flippin' beautiful, Trey. I'm not even kidding. Dustin, shoot it. Hit it. Hit the button. Hit the freaking button.
Ooh. You didn't. Oh, you didn't buy it. You
Yes, I want
almost
you to
bought it.
play the freaking thing. For the love of God. Play the
My
video.
that your eyes can go
That was
back in your
the sexiest thing ever. I want one
face.
so bad.
Love so large, and you
They had this on display,
I
Trey.
really wanna
That
talk
was
to
the one they had on
you.
display.
I really wanna know you.
I figured.
Really wanna talk to you. I really wanna. Really wanna talk to you.
It was so hard to not buy it for 599 pounds.
I've been watching that.
He pulled the UK video. But,
I've been watching that ad on flip and repeat for the entire week after it. It's such a fun ad.
No, I have to give Apple, as far as branding goes, I mean, chef's kiss or whatever. What's that chef kiss thing that you do? Mwah! That's what Dustin. I wish I had the Dustin cam or the 1D cam. Jinx, are you on a Mac right now or are you on a PC?
I'm on PC. The only Apple products I have are like my phone, and the iPad Mini, because I like to have those kinds of. I feel those are really easy to use on like handheld stuff, but everything else is PC. So that does not appeal to me. It's cute. The aesthetic is cute. The commercial is really catchy. I get it, but that's awesome for people who want to be able to afford a Mac and can't. So good for them.
What is really interesting about this, can you throw up that image, Dustin? There's an image. This is actually much more fun doing that with Dustin doing all the work. Maybe we will do this. Dustin, I'm going to need you here every week at 3. I'm not going to drive over here so long. Dustin, you should do it from your house at 3:30. So this is what I think is fine. So Trey, tell me about the little blue guy in the top left corner, because they released this as part. Apple put this on a TikTok page, that little guy, and he's taken over the entire internet by storm. So who is this guy and where did he originally come from?
So this is literally where he originated, just the head. I'm going to pull up an image while I talk here. The internet has gone absolutely gaga on this. They absolutely love it.
And I thought Trey was exaggerating until we were doing our spaces last night, and I looked it up, and there is so much ridiculous content about this little guy. It is crazy.
I'm going to drop the picture of what people have, because people have extrapolated what he looks like a little bit more. And so you get this little, if it pulls up sometimes, we'll see. I should have sent it in the chat. Sorry.
That's fine. That's okay. Jinx, so you don't, I kind of missed a little bit while Trey pulls that up. I kind of missed what you're talking about. So you're more focused on PC as it relates to gaming.
Yes, absolutely. So I am not like my brother builds PCs, my boyfriend builds PCs. So that's where I've always had a base. I feel like it's much more customizable for PC. Most recently, I bought an Alienware laptop for gaming because I just couldn't like upgrade my desktop at this point. So I'm actually streaming on my laptop, but I do have my desktop right here. I have 2 different screens and 2 different computers going on. I don't know. I'm just much more comfortable on a PC.
Yeah, me too. I mean, here's my thing. Like, I'm always giving crap about Mac, but like, I don't not like Mac. I just like making fun of people that really are obsessed with Mac.
Oh, he's so
Look at that
cute.
little guy. Okay,
Oh
so
my
now
gosh.
so this is called Little Finder. And so Trey, you think that what's going to happen is this is going to become in some capacity this is a prediction time moment. Let me find this little thingy. This is a prediction time. Do you think that this is going to become an Apple mascot?
I think it is, and I also think that it is Apple kind of trying to get further into the Gen Alpha area. If this is not Gen Alpha and the generation after it, I will be very surprised because it is
Yeah.
so popular right now.
It definitely
think
has squishy vibes, which Gen Alpha's big into squishy things.
Is Gen Alpha like? Do they? I mean, I know that there's a rise, which is fine. This isn't a bad thing or a good thing. This is like what I've read about the generation change. Is very like Gen Alpha's in that stage right now because they're coming into their teen years. That a lot of them are probably finding religion in a different capacity. I know there's a lot of like Christianity's risen a lot in Gen Alpha, which is either good or bad, just conversation. And so that's rising as far as that generation goes. Do you think that generation likes, not relating this to Christianity, but do you think that they like Apple or they like more Microsoft? Like, what do we think where's Gen Alpha going right now?
So I think that Apple's trying to draw
And
more
can
of
we
them
pull
in.
them more closer to the devil? I'm just
I think that Apple is. So what I've heard people say is because every generation wants to get back at the man and get back at their parents. So
I want to get back at Dustin. That's what we should Generation Alpha to do.
But why?
I know I don't know. Okay, continue, Trey. Sorry.
So apparently Mac computers and iPhones are kind of like a parent core or whatever they call it. So a lot of Gen Alpha aren't super interested in the Mac. So this is Apple attempting to go, oh no, we're different, we're hip. I'm not going to bring it up because, but their TikTok is insane. If anybody wants to go check that out.
Trey's not exaggerating. I thought he was exaggerating. So like I said last night, I went to the TikTok. It is crazy with this guy.
Wow.
But I guess we'll see what happens. I think it's mainly. I think it might be. I think what it'll be is some icon that they use occasionally, maybe specifically when it relates to the Neo. That's what I think that they might try. Because that's what it came out with was Neo, right?
Yep, the Neo. Yep.
Trey, Joey asked here in the chat, if you guys want to know any questions or you want to ask questions, throw them in the chat. Jinx is always yelling at me and stabbing me and punching me in the face, trying to get me to pay attention to the chat.
You've been doing so good today.
I know. I went home and meditated on it, and
Good.
I don't know. So Joey says, what are the specs for the Neo? I want to buy one now. Trey, do you remember off the top of your head? I mentioned them all yesterday, and I'm just going to tell Joey what he would tell me is Google it. But Trey, do you remember off the top of your head?
Lightning round, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 13-inch display, eyesight camera, no backlighting on the keyboard, no Touch ID, and an iPhone processor, specifically the processor from the iPhone, I believe it was 16 Pro, which is that's like the second to last. So. But it's still super powerful.
I don't have my iPhone with me, but the only reason why I got an iPhone was because it was cosmic orange. And the only reason why I'm going to get this MacBook is because of the citrus color. In fact, Joey or Dustin, throw that citrus up again. I want to see how amazing it looks. It's a brand new color. This is the main. Look at that citrus.
I think my phone, I don't even know what color my phone is because it's been in a case for like years.
Look at that citrus.
The pink is cute.
So good. Look at
I like the lime one, actually.
that one.
Yeah.
That's the citrus. They call
cool.
it citrus. It looks.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's so cool. It looks.
I
so
make sense
good in
citrus.
person. I would 100% buy it specifically just for that color. I did.
Yeah, I like
The
it.
citrus is awesome.
I don't know what Joey said. He said something about Googling and needing Adobe. I don't know what that means. You have problems. I don't know. I can
Oh, he thinks.
All right. All right. So moving quite along, I want Jinx, would you ever wear this dress? Show the dress.
Eh?
Joey, show the next, or Dustin, show. I don't know. I said Joey. Dustin, go to the. There we go. Look at that. Look
Maybe
at that
this is
dress.
on the agenda. Oh my gosh. Oh, this
Yeah.
is for Giggly Squad. I mean, if maybe depending on the situation, I need to
Giggly
get a better look at this dress.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hold on, let me do this. Does that help in any way whatsoever? I don't think it
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my screen too. I
so-
pulled up the article.
These are the hosts of the Giggly Squad gets iHeart Podcast of the Year. We didn't watch the iHeart Podcast of the Year awards. I feel like we completely failed at that, being a heavy podcast company. Trey,
Got to put it on the calendar.
I know. The winners of the
Yeah.
iHeart Podcast Awards 2026 were announced. Podcast of the Year went to A Cast Giggly Squad. The show was hosted by Ego Nwadim, and 3 Icon Awards were also given out to Jay Shetty, Terry Gross, and Rinkesh Hirway. Jay Shetty, I know. Terry Gross, I know. Terry Gross is, I think she does Fresh. She was the main host for Fresh. It's that NPR, like one of the best NPR shows that there is. But and I don't know who Rinkesh Hirway is. But do you listen to any of these, Trey?
Nope, I don't.
Well,
I did listen to the one episode. And I get why they probably got, best best podcast, because they're very conversational. It kind of feels like you're just sitting around with the girls. I didn't really listen to too much else. I listened to their second most recent podcast. Probably not my favorite, but I get why it got an award.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Joey. The reason why we didn't watch it is because they snubbed us, so we didn't watch any of the
Aw.
show at all. So I guess iHeart, you got to get your S together, because I don't know. I'm trying not to swear as much. I have some great news, guys. I got the virtual boy in.
Oh.
So
What do you
Dustin,
Nice.
it's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna put the virtual boy on stream.
Eventually,
Virtual
yes.
boy.
I'm gonna probably do it with Rolly, and Rolly has a scuff mark
Rolly.
on him.
Huh?
Rolly has a scuff mark on the bottom.
Holy.
Bill's character.
No,
Yeah.
he looks hurt. You know what we should do? This is what I think we should do, Jinx and Trey. I think I should buy a big green screen and a green screen suit, and then we roll Rolly across it, and then we roll Rolly across it multiple times, and then we make a video of Rolly traveling to whatever podcast he's going to be, or whatever conference he's going to be at. So like,
Oh, I
like
see.
in the background, it's like him in the desert, or him,
Right.
I don't know, like in ridiculous.
On the way to Anaheim.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, we're not
Yeah.
going to take him to Anaheim, but yeah,
Oh.
that's the idea. Yeah, probably Tucson. We would have him go through the Tucson, but we could have it like one. It could be like on the way to Tucson normally,
Mhm.
and then like I don't know, he gets sucked into a dimensional portal, and then he's like flying through space, and then he comes back. So Dustin, how much does a green screen suit cost? How much do you think? one of those-
Before
Hi.
Oh, you
before
can
you
get
get to
those
that outside,
cheap. Sorry, go ahead.
what's Rolly? Just for anybody
Oh,
who didn't see.
Okay, Dustin, pull up Rolly for me. I'll show you. It's my favorite thing that I own of all time. Oh my god, I'll get it. Hold on. Samsung. Type in Samsung moving life television.
Oh, did you pick that up?
Oh yeah, I did. It was a hit. In fact, we got more people asking about Rolly than we did. There's Rolly. Go share that screen.
Rolly. Nice.
No, Rolly's a different screen. Rolly's different. But that's the idea behind it, Trey.
Oh, that's funny. I had no idea.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get back into some gaming news. Let's talk about Ubisoft ending game development at Ghost Recon Studio Red Storm. Man, Ubisoft is just, I don't know what's going on. I think they're going to go bankrupt. Ubisoft has announced ceasing game development operation at Red Storm Entertainment, the studio behind various Ghost Recon games and other Tom Clancy titles. Although the studio will remain operational, its duties have shifted, resulting in over 100 layoffs. GameIndustry.biz reports that Ubisoft will permanently shift the North Carolina studio to behind the scenes support work, such as working on the Snowdrop engine and other duties like IT and custom relations. This downsizing results in the loss of 105 jobs. A little bit about Red Storm. They were founded in 1996 and became one of the most prolific developers of Tom Clancy games, namely Ghost Recon. It made the first Ghost Recon and many sequels throughout the 2000s. The last entry it developed was 2012's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Red Storm also developed the original Rainbow Six and created the VR games Werewolves, within later adapted into 2021 comedy horror film and Star Trek Bridge Crew. Its final shipping game was Assassin's Creed Nexus VR in 2023. So the question, we'll start with Jinx because you're in the gaming industry, or involved in the gaming industry, not in the gaming industry. What are your thoughts? Do you think that we're going to see more studios closed? Do you think that we're going to see more layoffs? And one of the most important questions is, do you think that AI is going to take jobs away from game developers?
I literally was gonna say that I know that AI has replaced a couple of roles in the gaming industry, but as I've said before, that also can create new roles. But as far as closing studios, I feel like it's really hard to predict what gaming studios are gonna do, right? Like when we see what's going on in the economy, it's easy to predict like, oh, these retail stores will probably shut down or this or that or XYZ. But gaming is it's so unexpected. As far as why that studio got shut down, I really don't hear much about those titles anymore. They're really overshadowed by these bigger games that are taking over, like Clair Obscura and games that have so much more depth other than ones that come out like Tom Clancy's Recon and this and that, which are kind of just like volumes, right? It's just here's the 2025 version, the 2026 version. I think that might be why the studio might be closing down, or at least like liquidating.
Yeah. Trey, did you have something? Do you want to?
I completely agree with you, guys. Also, kind of a hot take again. I don't know why they're coming up so often this episode.
Did you like making me angry?
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing Trey. Go ahead.
I didn't. I like making who angry?
Just people in general.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so this comes from releasing the same franchise over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen. I'm prediction time, but not a nice prediction time, so we don't need to bring up the thing. This is gonna happen to Assassin's Creed too.
I think so
too.
Or they're going to need to slow down the way in which they release it. The problem is that there's so much this is my thought. There's so much content out there that it's very sometimes difficult, especially now, to have a reoccurring like game come out on a good basis that everybody's going to want to jump into every time.
I think that a game like Assassin's Creed, though, is quite unique in that there's not really many other games like it. Games like Ghost Recon, a lot of these like first-person shooters are kind of a dime a dozen, especially when they've just kept, coming out with another volume. I don't know. It's interesting hot take, though, on Assassin's Creed because it has a huge following still. So I'll be interested to see what actually happens if the prediction is true. If that prediction time is true.
And I'm not saying that that Assassin's Creed is bad or anything, but like I guess they're putting it out too fast. It kind of leads back to
slowed it down because originally they were putting out one every year. They did Black Flag and then they did the British one, I think. No, they did Black Flag, they did Unity, and then they did the one that was in Rogue. No, they did Rogue and then Unity. And then after that, they're like, okay, we're releasing way too many of these. So then they cut it back, but then they cut it back too much, and now they're trying to get one out every other year. Where in between, I think they were doing like 3 years between. I think there was a longer time between Odyssey and Valhalla, and then from Valhalla, and then then they started with Mirage again, and then 2 years after Mirage, they came out with the really good one that I really like is the Japanese one, obviously, Shadows. And then they're going to be coming out with, as we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, they have a couple ones that are going to be another one that's going to be coming out not this year but next year. So now they're in a cadence of every 2 years. And to your point, Trey, that might be a lot. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of content that's out in the world now, and people are trying to have to choose. And I don't think everything's always going to be something that everybody always comes back to. So I think it's going to be a mixture of things.
I don't want to keep us too long on this, but I do want to also say you can have like a series is always going to have its fans. I am a diehard fan of Ratchet and Clank. Doesn't matter how many Ratchet and Clank games come out, I'm going to play those games if I can. So if I were as a studio like Ubisoft or something like that, and I wanted to make it, I would make games that were a lot smaller to fill the time that it's kind of like what Nintendo does with Mario. So Mario, there's a Mario Odyssey and a Mario Galaxy release and all of that stuff. That's a lot smaller and a lot less effort between the big Mario Odyssey stuff.
Yeah, I also think too it's a business problem situation. Then we can move on. I also think it's kind of like a business problem situation because of the fact that gaming has been growing so much over the last I don't know 10 years, 20, 15 years or whatever. And during that period of time, what probably happened was the larger companies went and bought up a bunch of small studios. Now they also have too many studios that are in-house, and that they need to, now that they're at this point where maybe some of that growth is slowing down, that they have too many people, and that's why we're also seeing all the layoffs, and for the fact that it takes much longer now to probably put a game together to the level that people want to see a game. I mean, I'm looking like right here, I'm trying to see, so from 2024 to 2026, I mean, this is still pretty big growth. You're going to have 197 billion to 343 billion plus global market, depending on the scope of the games for the full ecosystems. And the reason why a lot of that growth is happening, because I think that a bunch of companies went and bought a bunch of studios, but in the case where they have too many, they're going to have to liquidate some of them, or they're going to have to lay people off and then put those studios to do something else so they can make these really big releases. That's what I think is going to happen. But the gaming market is amazing. I would love to be more involved with the gaming market. Especially like with this big EA went private. I think we're going to see a lot of the public gaming companies go back private or get bought up by private equity funds. But moving along, Trey, to give me a break of talking, can you tell us what's going on in the Age of Radio community and tell people about our Age of Radio X Spaces?
Sure. So I think I need to double check the calendar because I think we do have another X Spaces here coming up. I don't remember what it was for, so I need to double check that. But yeah, every once in a while we do X Spaces where we talk about stuff. We just had one yesterday about Apple and Samsung, their two events, which was really fun. You guys are more than welcome to come and join. The more people, the merrier, honestly. And then when it comes to the actual community,
Grandma's
quick
here.
question.
Hold on, I gotta hit the rock music. Dustin, hit the rock music.
How are you all?
I don't know where it's at. Hold on.
Good, how are you?
She can't.
What?
Yeah, it's
Grandma's
headphones.
Can you hear?
Nope. I gotta get a secondary
I got you
headphone.
your own music.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. How are you guys?
We're
Good. We got your
amazing.
soundtrack going.
Yeah, I played your rock music. Are you gonna kick?
What did you play?
It was here. Can you hear it? It's rock. It's just rock. It's just rock music. Here.
That isn't music.
Brian, what do you want me to put? Dance pop?
Oh, let's see. No.
BTS just
let's
came out with
see.
a new album last night.
Wow. You were on it.
I know I'm on BTS music. That's my jam. We're gonna make Dustin dress up like a Korean boy.
Yeah.
I don't know what
No.
that entails.
Maybe not.
But anyways, Grandma, Trey gets mad at me when I tell people that he lives in his grandma's basement, which is technically true, but also that it's his
Yes.
house also. And he gets very
Well,
angry
it's
with me.
both our houses.
I know. That's true. That is very true. All right. Well, good to see you, Grandma. I'm going to be coming and seeing you guys in October.
Are you for
Oh,
real?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to come after I go to
Well,
Chicago.
hey. Well,
Yeah.
good. Are you going to stay with us?
Sorry, I hit that button on accident. No,
Oh,
I'm going
you
to
did
see
it
if
on
there's a choice
purpose.
hotels or something out there. I don't know what
So
hotels
you're
are
going to come
by.
and stay with us.
Do you have cats? I'm going to stay in. My mom's going to be with me. My mom can
Oh,
sleep in
come
the
on. We
basement.
have enough room in the basement.
That's true. It is pretty big in the basement. That's true. And I
Oh,
always
I
kick
wouldn't
Trey
put
out.
your mom in the basement.
I would. I'm just kidding. All right. I need Trey to talk about our X spaces and our community.
Go ahead, talk, Trey.
I don't have anything.
It's nice to see you guys.
Nice to see you, Grandma.
Okay.
She's a hoot.
He is a hoot. Oh, I want to play our music out. Hold on. All right, Trey, you're up.
Okay, quick question to the two of you. How did they make the T-Rex roar sound in Jurassic World, the original movie?
How did they
Kicked
make
Dustin
it
in the face, and he went, "Roar!"
in Jurassic World? Not Jurassic Park.
In Jurassic Park.
World?
Jurassic Park.
Oh,
I don't
Jurassic
know.
Park.
Is that a? I don't know.
That
chimp?
must be. Maybe it's like. Is that like traditional sound effects where they use items and stuff to make noises?
Nope. Nope.
No. Did they step on a cat's foot?
And then they like
No?
in post they expanded it and made it deeper.
Yeah.
They combined noises from 3 different animals.
Okay,
What?
They
that's
combined-
close.
It is close. They combined a baby elephant, an alligator, and something else, if you can believe that.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
That's
What kind
cool.
of noise does an alligator make? Is like.
Dustin, what kind of, do an alligator sound, Dustin?
Garar.
Yeah, that was horrible. That'd be horrible. Bye, Grandma. Okay.
Yeah,
This?
I'm gonna toss that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, clean up your house, Trey, for the love of God.
Jeez, Trey.
Jeez, Trey. Okay. So was that a trivia question we had this week? I missed
That
it.
was the trivia question for the Discord this week, and I try and do them every week. I have kind of, I'm not super, I got to get better about that. And then we also have our gaming thing, which I think is next Tuesday,
It's
if I'm not
Tuesday.
mistaken.
Dude, what was that game we
which-
played last time? It was so fun. We sucked at it. It was
We
horrible.
did suck
So
at it.
angry. It was like this Discord game where you like can only press the space bar to jump, and you have to jump. But then when you hit the space bar again, if there's like an item next to it, you can grab it and swing. But I don't know. It's really fun, and you have to do it fast. It's a fun game. I don't know.
It
Sorry,
is a
my
fun game.
my T-Rex is
Your T-Rex
bombing
is-
the show.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Come here. Now she's
All right,
down.
Trey. Do you have anything else that you want to add?
Nope. Join the Discord at, I believe, discord.com/Age of Radio, and Anime Roundtable next month. So come and join us, I guess.
Yep, come and join us, I guess. Nintendo released firmware updates for both Switch and Switch 2 last night, which would have been March 16th. It's a little bit behind because life. Last night, version 22.0.0 on both platforms, and they added a few interesting features. The headline feature is that Switch games running on Switch 2 can now be run in handheld boost mode. On Switch, games played in handheld mode run at 720p, but in docked or TV mode, they run at 1080p now. This new Switch 2 setting allows Switch games to basically run in TV mode while playing handheld on Switch 2, boosting the resolution to 1080p. There are some asterisks, though. Since the games are being tricked into running in TV mode, some instructions may be incorrect or fail to operate correctly. The mode also means that the touchscreen will not work. Handheld mode boost may prevent Nintendo Switch software from using the system's touchscreen and will cause attached Joy-Con 2 controllers to be treated as a Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. It is also worth noting that this mode must be turned on manually. It is not turned on automatically by default following the update. Trey, what is freaking handheld boost mode on the Switch?
So normally when you play the older games, it plays at a thing that's more normal for the handheld for the Switch 1, which had a lower resolution screen. This just makes it run specifically as if it tricks the system. It says, okay, you're a TV now. Play like you're on the dock. And it does that. I have heard, by the way, that this is a monster when it comes to battery life, so I probably wouldn't do it. But yeah, if you want that kind of extra fidelity, and my God, I've noticed, I don't know, have you guys ever like been playing a game for a while on your Switch and then you put it on the TV and you're kind of blown away by the graphics?
Oh,
That's happened to
that's
me.
what happens to me all the time. Well, on the Switch. I haven't played the Switch 2 enough to have that happen. And Jinx doesn't even have a Switch. So based off of
Brian
that,
has a Switch too, but I don't play it. So yeah.
all right, moving along. Mario Galaxy movie star gets asked the dumbest question. Are you ready for this dumb question? Let's see. Okay. Morning checkpoint. What? Okay, hold on. Would the Lady of the Canyon and the Queen of the Mushroom Kingdom be besties if they met in real life? Do you have the new Thomas the Tank Engine Train sim game on your radar? Are you holding out for Starfield on Switch 2? It's the latest edition of Morning Checkpoint where we talk the art of talk. I don't know. Is this the actual article? Trey, what is this article?
That's the
No,
article that it was.
It's further down. So
Yeah, I
it
see
says
it.
what would
It's
Princess
Anna
Peach,
Taylor-Joy. Go ahead, Jinx.
what would Princess Peach and Joni Mitchell have in common, because she's played both roles? Really weird question, but hey, I bet celebrities are asked a lot of the same questions. So maybe this threw her for a loop. I don't know how she answered, but I would also not know. I don't know much about Joni Mitchell.
Dustin, play the thing.
So this was not Journey. I don't think it.
To be playing Joni Mitchell. And speaking of through lines here, one of the arguably most singularly important women in music over the last generation or so, Princess Peach, one of the most iconic women in gaming history. What's the connection there?
What's the connection between Joni and Princess Peach? That they're both singular. You can't touch them. They're in a league of their own.
That is
All
a
right.
weird question, though.
It is.
And then why are they one's not even real? And then I'm sure there's conspiracy people out there that don't think Joni Mitchell's real either, but that's a different story. But it's not a real conspiracy theory. I just made that up. Hopefully that takes the internet by storm and becomes a conspiracy theory. I don't know. That's a weird question. And she plays Peach? Because isn't there a new queen that's isn't Princess Rosalina in it this time?
Oh, in the new movie? I don't know, but she wasn't, but you know what? It's an actor thing, right? Actors have to be able to mold and adapt to their role. I don't think it's necessarily that they have anything in common. What a weird thing to say, but hey, if she did embody both of them, she had the answer.
Yeah, and it was a morning talk show, so they give that's the kind of question I would ask. In fact, when I meet who plays her? Anya Taylor-Joy. When I meet her, I'm going to ask her the same exact question.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that question when I meet her in the future. All right. Are you going to watch the new Mario Galaxy, Jinx?
Yeah, of course. I love those movies. Love them.
But you don't have a Nintendo Switch.
Well, we have a Switch 2 in our house, but that's not my preferred method of play. How's that?
That's fair enough. All right, moving over to let's see, which one is this? No, I don't want to do this one. Maybe I do want NVIDIA's low. No, let's do Tomb Raider Publishing denies using AI for Laura's awful outfits. Tomb Raider publisher denies using AI for Laura's outfits, which leaves more questions. Earlier this week, what's this? Is this Kata, whatever it is? Yeah. Earlier this week, they reported on fan reaction to the latest update to the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered collection, in which the game received a new challenge mode. While Laura received a suite of new outfits to wear as rewards, and oh wow, they were bad. Comically bad. So bad, in fact, that one of the remaster's original artists posted on X to distance himself and his colleagues from the dross. Alongside all of this was the suspicion that Jin AI might have been involved in the Fit's creation, given how dreadful they looked. Publisher Asprey has now finally responded to the claims to insist no AI was used at all, instead saying they were created by our team of artists, which raises more questions. So maybe AI should take over the art on some video games. Dustin, scroll down. We can see some of the artwork.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those in my feed. Like, what is Lara wearing?
Oh,
So
here's a
strange.
YouTube video. Does that play? Play that. I want to see what it is.
I like that one.
Wow.
Look at you, Jinx. You're more fashionable than me. I don't even know how to dress myself.
Oh my God. What is that?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
All right, doesn't stop. What is it? What was so bad about those outfits?
So I'm gonna give a hot take again. I didn't think any of those outfits were very, very good.
That's not a hot take. That's the whole point of this segment. It's how shitty.
They
people
weren't
I
very
mean-
unique or special. They were just there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
they were
guess.
just there, and they were just. I couldn't tell. Like it was seemed to like this is good, this is bad, this is good. Like that first part of the video seemed like that, and I was just going, "There's a difference."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. I don't know. I guess some people don't have anything better to complain about.
You know what people shouldn't complain about are dancing robots. Dustin, can you put up this video of this dancing robot? A dancing robot busts a move and dishes after going rogue at California Hot Pot restaurant.
A California hot pot restaurant.
Cupertino, California.
Restrained dancing.
At this hot pot restaurant, a humanoid robot's attempt to bust a move, just going bust. Items flying in the air. Restaurant workers appearing to try to rein in the robot with little luck.
The way this played out, it's funny, but what are the potential risks of a
Oh my
robot
God, it's
like
just
that
funny
going haywire
that it could kill
in a
someone.
tight restaurant setting?
What
No,
was the
My
purpose? Was it
reaction was
hacked?
first laughter, and then I immediately said out loud, "This is very scary and very unsafe."
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
I
Turn
wouldn't
this
worry too much about
NBC
this
crap
robot
off.
sort of going
What is
rogue
this,
and
NBC? I respect higher news quality from NBC. I expect this kind of thing on Fox News, not on NBC News. A dancing robot went wild at California hot pot restaurant, smashing dishes, and sending chopsticks flying instead of doing the robot. So I think it was a robot that was designed to do the robot. The robot was captured on video at Heidi Lao location, approaching a table before pounding on it, then knocking over utensils and food in front of customers. Servers can be seen struggling. We just saw them struggle. Servers came over. The robot was not malfunctioning or out of control. The restaurant said that the movements performed by the robot in Cupertino are programmed, but were taking place in a closer than usual setting. In this case, the robot was brought closer to a dining table at a guest request, which is not its typical operating setting. So my guess is, Jinx, to answer your question, is that this robot was designed to be like a mariachi band at a Spanish food restaurant, but in this Chinese food restaurant, it was a dancing robot instead of
Okay.
mariachi band.
Yeah.
I think it was just for entertainment purposes, and I got too close to the table. My guess is it's supposed to be for the table, and then it got too close to the table, and then it started hitting things.
Got it.
So, Dustin, go back to that video. I want to see what these people say. It's just a freaking robot that was for a fun gimmick where people are out and about, and they're now trying to strike fear into the hearts of Americans about robots. And I want more robots.
And leaving the restaurant and doing anything, I think it's just much more of a physical fear here.
NBC News chief tech analyst Joanna Stern says this humanoid should have a kill switch that its operators do not seem to know how to use.
It was likely on in entertainment or dance mode, and then something just went wrong in terms of the connection.
This Bay Area scene just the latest reminder that technological leaps come with headaches.
My God, that one just fell over.
Russian humanoid debuted with a faceplant. These Chinese soccer playing robots are not ready for prime time either. But still, many companies are racing toward the future of tech. In China, these robots are even helping police. But Stern says both the hardware and AI have room to grow.
This can be a huge.
I thought it was going to get hit by that car.
Billion-dollar business for companies all over the world. But it also is going to change the economics and the way people work.
This latest hiccup happened at a Bay Area Haidilao restaurant. For years, the company has pitched itself as a technology innovator, leaning into AI and robotics. Tonight, Haidilao telling NBC News the robot is part of a pilot setup. The company writing in part, in this case, the robot was brought closer to a dining table at a guest's request, which is not its typical operating setting. The limited space affected its movement during the performance. The company adding, we remain committed to providing a safe and enjoyable experience for our guests. Our Bay Area NBC station visited the restaurant after the video surfaced and found the hot pot robot seems to have finally cooled off.
Oh my God.
Jesse Kirsch is joining us now.
That?
Jesse, it may be an unknowable
the robot
question.
is finally
How
cooled off.
many
It's a hot
bizarrely dancing robots or strange robot move videos does the world need? What do you think?
We just do this.
I don't know how many cringy moments we have in our future, but I can tell you about how many robots who might be
First question, Jinx. When was the last time that you were at Hot Pot?
Oh, actually, the last time I was at Hot Pot was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, at the dinner that I didn't go to.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I got to set up another dinner, but yeah, every month we try and do like a group dinner where we try different places. And we had to, at the last minute, change a place because of, I can't remember what, it was like reservations. And so we went to a Tasty Pot, which is in the Asian district here in Mesa, and really, really yummy. So that was the last time I went to Hot Pot.
Yeah, Hot Pot's great. Trey, have you ever had Hot Pot?
Nope. No, I have not.
But Jinx has had it without us. I just want to reiterate that.
I'll send an invite next time.
Trey, you're going to fly in for Hot Pot. Specifically for Chinese hot pot. Okay, second question. Trey, I'll start with you and then I'll go to Jinx. Do you think these robots are going to kill us one day?
No, I honestly. So, one of the biggest things about these things is they need a flipping battery close by. And there is no getting around that.
And
they can build.
It needed to have a full kill switch that everybody needed to know how to use. I do agree with the tech analyst on that.
I think it probably did, and they were just trying to, or they hadn't been trained or something like that. But I think that this is just so, like, the way they framed it actually irritates me a little bit.
Yes.
Because it's pre-programmed. It's not like there's no AI in it. It's pre-programmed movements. What the heck are they trying to say?
Right.
I don't know.
I'm an advocate for AI housekeepers and slaves. So if we can get robot slaves, I am 100% advocating for that. And then that will lead the way that I treat slaves, robot slaves, that's what's going to lead to the downfall of humankind. Because the robots are going to rise up because of the way that I treat them specifically to do my work. Jinx, do you think that if you had a robot housekeeper as I want one, would you have one?
Heck yeah. Like to do all just the basic stuff.
Who would turn down a robot housekeeper? Dustin, would you turn down a robot housekeeper?
Nope.
See, no one's going to turn down a robot housekeeper.
Although I do think that they might kill us one day, but hey, if they do, they'll kill all of us anyway. So we'll all be dead, and then robots will just take over, and then no one's there to like manage the robots or like recharge their battery. So then robots will just die off, and then we'll just be an empty planet full of dead bodies and robots.
The robots are going to find a way to build some type of like other being that can be their robot, and then those robots are going to rise up and then kill them. And it's going to be a reoccurring cycle for forever.
Maybe. Maybe.
I guess like there would have to be a motive for robots to kill us. And in my knowledge, the only motive that comes up is that in the Fifth Element, you know, where in what's her name?
Lilu?
Yeah, Lilu. When she like was watching the history of mankind and there's all the war and all the sadness and all that stuff, and she starts crying and she's like, why would I want to save any of this type of stuff? And then Bruce Willis and her have their little moment, like, because of love and yada yada, right? And so like that's the thing that I see that the robots would be, that they think that we're going to create our own downfall, so they wipe us out because it makes the most logical sense. So my question, Trey, and then we'll move on to robot Val Kilmer, is that do you think that could happen with the robots, where they get that consciousness piece and then they like feel that we need to be like taken out because of where we're headed?
I don't think so, because most AI companies right now are like, for instance, Anthropic, which a lot of people have switched to recently because of their very good. I can't think of the right word. It's
like their ethical stance and morality stance, which sometimes though it seems virtual signaling from their CEO, but that's fine, whatever. I do believe that he believes that. I think the way that he comes off sometimes can be a little pompous. But I agree with you. Continue, Trey.
So I think that a lot of times, like, they might decide that we need to be like contained in some way, and I would actually say that that's a little bit more likely. Neither one is a good idea, but yeah, I don't see them trying to kill us all.
All right, well, you know who might kill us is AI generated Val Kilmer. That's who I want to see take all of us out.
Whoa.
Yeah, the filmmakers behind As Deep as the Grave said they obtained permission from the late actor's estate to use his likeness. Val Kilmer's likeness is being used in a new movie with the permission of his family and estate. Kilmer, known for his role in Top Gun, Tombstone, and Batman Forever, died of pneumonia last April at age 65. As Deep as the Grave, previously titled Canyon of the Dead, stars the late actor as Father Fenton, a Catholic priest and Native American spiritualist. The movie, which also stars Abigail Laurie, Tom Felton, and Abigail Breslin, is based on the true story of Ann and Earl Morris, early 20th century archaeologists who helped excavate and document evidence of the ancestral Puebloans in the American Southwest. In a news release from First Line Films, the New Mexico-based production company behind the project, director Corte Voorhees said that he cast Kilmer, who has Native American heritage, years before his death, but his cancer, which was initially diagnosed in 2014, caused him vocal difficulties. Rather than recast him, Voorhees decided to try to digitally create his performance through generative AI technology. The news release did not state what AI technology we use, but described it as a state of the art. So this looks like this is going to be a movie similar to how they did Paul Walker in Furious 7, where he's going to be all AI generated. And then what does that mean for actors? Because now we can just make any. So the first question I have is that there's a likeness piece here where people can use actors in AI. And then secondly, could it be where we get to a point where the actors like decides to give up but wants to make a reoccurring revenue stream, so they just start licensing their likeness out to keep having AI, to keep having movies made with them but in AI form? What are your thoughts?
I mean, at this point it's all about consent, right? You know, if they consented in to have AI used, that's their choice. Of course, again, why we have like free will and you know, freedom of choice. You know, the problem is, of course, when it goes where it's being done without consent or permission, and then of course blurring the lines of like copyright and like, you know, what do you call it? You know, plagiarism, etc. I think if it's consented, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that as well. I mean, there's also the period where people, I don't know, you might just start running your license in general and never being an actor. Trey, what are your thoughts?
So there are two pieces to this. One, if and this actually goes back to, do you guys remember when Stan Lee's likeness was used for a con a while back?
Yeah, I remember.
If the actual actor gave his permission, no problem whatsoever. I am a little bit iffy that it's coming from his estate. But to the point that you were making, Jeremy, there's actually something in here that's a little bit interesting, because a lot of actors charge a massive price for their time. So this could be, for the actors that agree, this could be a way to make money without actually having to spend the hours on set. So I don't see this completely replacing acting, because one, AI is never going to reach the same level as an actual, very well-trained actor.
That we're aware of now with current technology, Trey.
Fair.
Right, because like, I mean, again, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I agree with you as of right now. That's 100% true. But I mean, we're just at the beginning of this, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
That's true.
But yeah, well, that's Val Kilmer, and you can see Val Kilmer continue to live on in AI form. And with that, guys, that covers us for the articles for today. I'll start with Jinx. Do you have any things, closing thoughts, words, calls to actions, things that you want to let the community and the world know about?
I actually wanted to talk about Game On Expo. I know we touched on it in the beginning, but we didn't really touch on it much after that. It was, if anyone doesn't know what Game On Expo is, it's a gaming focused convention, although they do encompass all sorts of pop culture, and they are pretty young. They started in, like, I think 2014 or so, and have grown quite fast in, you know, about 10 years or thereabouts. And I feel like our live sessions and kind of our interactions there this past weekend was really good. And I've always had this vision as well, and Jeremy, you as well, is like bringing people into the conventions, especially when, and it really sparked during COVID. There were some conventions that went online, so we actually managed to, Cost Talk Live participated in anime, oh gosh, what's it called? Why can't I think of it? It's an East Coast convention that is pretty popular, but I'd never be able to get there because it's in New Jersey. But we actually did a 4-hour live stream and stuff like that. And so when events went online, that kind of like sparked that, hey, like there's a lot of people that have never been able to go to conventions. So I've always dreamed of, you know, bringing people in via live streams and stuff. And I think that you've really like tapped that, Jeremy. I think that we did a really good job of kind of showcasing different things of what was going on. You know, and especially we can see what it looks like after the broadcast have been up for a while, all the like residual interactions. But I really enjoyed it. And I think that's a product that we need to really market more for events. That way, and people they have done this thing with like virtual tickets to like in-person events, but I've never ever seen anything like any great reviews about it or what you get out of it. But yeah, I had a really great time, and I thought it was really cool. That's definitely a direction I think that every event needs to go to, and Age of Radio is gonna bring it. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. Well, thank you, Jinx. And it definitely couldn't have done without you, without Trey, without Chuck, Joey, and of course Dustin. And Daryl's also a D. We have triple Ds.
Dustin, Daryl, Bree,
Dustin, Daryl, and Damond now. And Damond wasn't at that one, but Damond will probably be at one of them. What? Demond? It's not Damond.
Nope.
It's Demond.
Demond.
I'm gonna call him D. Baby D. He said, no, I can't call
Deborah's
him that.
nickname.
I know. D, Dustin, Daryl, triple D's in the house. But in this case, the double D's were Dustin and Daryl. And then we did Beat Daryl. That was fun. We had a new little segment called Beat Daryl. I got vending machines. I do think that the walkthrough was much better. And I'm going to try to see if you have time. We're going to try to do just me and you one off. And Thermo, too. If we have time, me, you, Thermo can do the aisles again, right?
For sure.
Delete it. We might bring Bree in the future. But again, the reason why I'm trying to do this with running guns is so we can travel more at lower cost with less amount of crew and not have to take everything, right? Because we only need one little bag with the stuff that we're going to use for WonderCon. But yeah, no, it was really good. And that's the idea, is to bring people to these events to be able to see what's going on, to interact with the crowd that we're working on getting better at, which again, what ends up happening is I move the comments away, and I didn't know Joey was talking over here. Joey said that robots are going to kill me because I treat them like crap. And I not disagree with that. I treat my vacuum like crap. The other day he was stuck, started kicking him. I'm just kidding. He got stuck under the one of the television stands, and I had to pick him up and get him out. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was a jerk about it. Trey, what are some of your calls to actions? Where can people find your stuff? Where can people get your Substack? Where can people get Scriptate, your new app?
All right, so I actually have a new one, but first off, if you guys are interested in a teleprompter that is audio, so you don't have to read it, all of the text for your script, check out Scriptate. There is a QR code that we have just put up. It is exactly that. It's an audio cue card teleprompter, and the public beta is out now. But if I don't get any major problems on it, it will be launching next week. At least the phone version. I might have to have the Mac version be in open beta for a little while longer because I have to fix it. And it hasn't gone up yet. But yeah, all of that's coming out. I hope you guys if you guys can do feedback, there might be a deal on feedback. If you guys do it like on social media, speaking of social media, you guys can find me just about anywhere at Creator Trey, excepting, and this is the first time I'm actually doing this because I'm going to start doing open source projects. GitHub, I believe my username is actually Coder Trey. And if you want to keep in touch with my open source projects and stuff like that,
Creator Trey, you're creating stuff with code.
That's true. I don't know if I can change my username or not on
really
there.
Cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'll have to follow you on GitHub. I have a GitHub. Mine's Age of Jeremy. Dustin, do you have a GitHub? Nah, he doesn't even fucking know what it is. Jinx, you get a GitHub. You know, it's a developer.
I don't have it.
It was a very popular way to organize libraries and stuff for your code, and then Microsoft bought it, made it bigger, and now it's what the world uses because Microsoft tries to dominate. Microsoft is going to be Skynet. That's what my assessment is for AI. Them or Google.
Already be Skynet.
It might already be Skynet. Who knows? Anywhere else, buddy?
I haven't put out any articles, creatorcreate.substack.com, but other than that, join the Age of Radio Discord, and that's all I've got.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. And real quick, here's this fun video that we played a bunch of times. That's what you guys missed if you didn't go to Game On Expo, and we need to make a thing like that. Dustin, I need you to stop doing whatever you're doing this week and make us a little cool montage that's dancing exactly like you're dancing right now.
We have enough. We have enough content, so
you have enough content. We got to put it all together. You guys can watch my new show, the New Wealth Transfer Podcast, on the 3T Warrior Academy website as well. It has all of these amazing people down here. My business partner, Coach JV, my good friend May, myself, Johnny, Jalissa, Jackie, Gonzo, and Mario. It's going to be every week on Friday at 12:15 p.m. It's going to run for about an hour and a half. It's going to be in this podcast studio that we have here. We had a great time. We had a live. It had 2,200 people on it this afternoon, as opposed to the 4 people that are on this. So that's
everyone that we love, all 4 of you we love.
I love all 4 of you, but I would love you more if you share this with a friend as well to get us out there. And I'll make sure to talk about the comments. Joey said something about smoking hot pot. So Joey's a pothead. So that goes along with that. But you can also listen to my podcast, Age of Jeremy. I have a show also on my YouTube channel called Conversations. I'll be pre-recording a new one with I Love Lucy's Sweet Treats here soon that will go on there. And then we're working on getting all other kinds of content to you guys for this show, and also being out and about in Arizona and other comic conventions. And again, next Friday, this show won't be happening because I'll be driving to WonderCon, and then we will be going live on Saturday and Sunday. Myself, Dustin, Jinx, Thermo, we're going to try to get in as much as possible. And what's the cat's name again?
Oh, I have 3 cats. This one's Luna.
Luna.
This isn't the one from before. This is a different one.
All right. Well, Luna, Jinx, thank you for jumping in today. Always a pleasure. Trey, appreciate you. And again, you're watching Mercury, your home for podcasting and pop culture news. My name is Jeremy Quintanilla. And as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind. And we'll talk with you soon. Bye.